was so beautiful? Or was it just something to hold? What? Wine? Water? Buttersworth smiled. This was what he liked most about young Lawrence. His desire, rare in one so young, to know the unknowable, to ask questions and imagine answers. If he were really determined to become an archaeologist, this desire of his was essential, for the quest for answers was what drove men of Buttersworth's profession. The need to know the who, what, how, and why of these ancient objects, some with their own intrinsic aesthetic value, others plain and insignificant-looking, still others monstrous and ugly, yet beautiful in their ugliness. The need to understand, to unearth, to investigate, to analyse, and above all to appreciate, to feel. Buttersworth beamed at his protégé. "Good questions, lad, but there is another also to be answered." He set the picture safely on the shelf and stepped back. "The real question is how such a fragile object managed to survive all the forces that have been set against it throughout the centuries, and not just natural forces either. There have been Vandals in every age, and Philistines who wouldn't recognize the value of a piece like this beyond the price it would bring." He rubbed his hands again. "Now, let us see what other treasures we have been sent." They had just completed the inventory when a bell rang, signalling that Buttersworth was wanted in the reception area. Still engrossed with the objects, Buttersworth sent Ned off to find out what was needed. Some moments later, he was back. He closed the door behind him and spoke in a low voice. "There's a lady in the hallway, sir. She refuses to wait upstairs. She insists on speaking to you privately." Intent on a rose-coloured glass ampulla from the 1st century, Buttersworth spoke absently. "A lady, eh? What does she want?" Ned frowned. "Wouldn't give her name or state her business. She might be a patron, but—" He shrugged. Buttersworth put down the perfume bottle with an inward sigh. Maintaining cordial relations with wealthy benefactresses was one of his duties, but certainly not his favourite. He was much better with objects, the older the better, of course, than with people, and he was never at his best with women, who often wanted to complain about something or other, usually something inconsequential. "Well, I suppose I must," he said, resigned. "Show her in, Ned, and I should like you to go upstairs and ask Mr. Jilks for the catalogue of Roman glass in storage. There are 1 or 2 objects I want to compare." With a show of exaggerated formality, Ned opened the door and bowed the lady in. She was modestly dressed in a dark walking suit, dark gloves and a blue straw hat with an unassuming silk bow. Her face was swathed in a dark blue veil, but through its folds, Buttersworth could see that it was quite striking. The nose especially, classic, very like the nose on a piece of ancient Greek statuary, and the eyes blue and set wide apart. He did not know her. Had he ever seen her, he would surely not have forgotten that stunning Grecian profile, and from her unpretentious dress he judged that she was not one of the museum's patronesses, those elegant ladies who swept in with an air of ostentatious wealth and offered him their hands as if they owned the place. She did not offer her hand. "You are John Buttersworth." Her voice was low, pleasant, cultured. A lady's secretary, perhaps. "I am." Buttersworth cleared his throat. "How may I be of service, madam?" "I understand that you are the Ashmolean's expert on classical antiquities." Buttersworth inclined his head. "I have that honour." "Very well, then. My employer has asked me to bring these items to you. She would like your opinion of their value." The veiled woman produced a brown leather pouch from her purse and placed it on the table. Their value? Buttersworth was momentarily amused. The Ashmolean was not a pawnshop, but the woman might be acting as an agent for a potential donor. There would certainly be no harm in having a look. He loosened the drawstring and emptied 5 small objects onto the table, each one tidily wrapped in tissue paper. He chose one, undid the tissue, and held in his hand the effigy of a large beetle, covered with a turquoise glaze. Surprised, he reached into his pocket for his jeweller's loupe, pushed his spectacles onto his forehead, and put the loupe in his left eye. Squinting, he examined the beetle's underside.